You have Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals, Rick Porcello of the Boston Red Sox, Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs. So congratulations to you guys, the 2016 award winners. Great seasons for all of you. On the other side of the break, we will hit up some of that amazing college football that took place yesterday.
Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com.
Definitely check it out. You still got time to set your daily lineups and really your season-long lineups if you don't have any players from Thursday's game. Can't switch them out, obviously, at this point. But if you haven't checked them out, you still got time to set your lineups before the game starts today. So get over there, get on the site, use the promo code, check it out, analyze your lineup, get the best situation you can for today, and go ahead and win something today. All right, feel good about yourself while you're watching the games today and getting everything going. All right, yesterday, college football, man, we talked about it with Chris. It was going to be some really good games yesterday. There weren't the blowouts, there weren't the big scores or the show-me games that I expected. But, man, were they some good games yesterday. Number 2, Ohio State against Michigan State. I said it on the show. DC3PO predicted it. Chris agreed with it. Ohio State was going to blow out Michigan State. Michigan State didn't have anything on offense to compete with Ohio State. Ohio State's offense had too much for Michigan State's defense. I predicted Ohio State putting up 50, 60 points, and it comes out Ohio State pulls out a very tight game. Very tight. 1 point difference, 17-16 over Michigan State. Rivalry games, that's what you have to love about a rivalry game right there. That game is what you have to love about rivalries. Last year, Michigan State got them late. Right? They kicked that field goal late in the rain, went through, whoa, miraculous win. This year, they gave them everything they could give them. Best game they've played all season. Nowhere near the best game Ohio State's played all season. But that's what happens in a rivalry game. You never know what you're going to get. You got all the emotions involved. You got just too many variables. Rivalry games seem to have matchups involved that you normally don't have problems with, that all of a sudden can give you a problem. They're just one of those things you have to watch all the time. In this game, I was pulling for Michigan State when I saw them keeping it close in the second half. I did not watch this game yesterday, but when I was tracking the score and I was pulling for them, I was hoping for the big upset, and Ohio State was able to hold them off there at the end and hold on to that 17-16 lead and close it out. And they're going to stay number 2 in the nation. You know, you probably won't see too much shakeup other than the Louisville loss, so they're not going to drop out of the top 10. So even though CU pulled out the victory, and we'll talk about their game here in a minute, you probably won't see the top 10 teams change very much. You just see a little shuffle in the middle. But that's okay with that. Michigan, wow. I don't know what's going on there with Michigan. Maybe they got too cute with themselves there in the middle of the season, trying to showcase Jabril Peppers and showcase different formations and be in the news all the time. But the last 2 weeks, they have not looked like the Michigan we saw through the first 8 weeks of the season. They have started off slow. They have struggled to stop lower teams. It's almost like they're now playing down to the level of their competition. No offense to Indiana or Iowa. They just weren't, considered and aren't considered top 5 teams in the country, especially not top 3 where Michigan sits right now. Now, Iowa got them last week, and Indiana looked almost like they were going to get them this week. They had a lead at one point. Michigan was able to pretty much just battle in the second half to pull away to win 20-10. But Indiana definitely put a scare into Michigan. And Michigan has Ohio State next week. Ohio State, who had a scare from Michigan State, you have Michigan next week. So you guys better go back, game plan tight, get real focused, or next week's game is going to be ugly. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. That's going to be one of the better games. That's going to be maybe as good as any of the bowl games could be. Or at least it should be, if these two teams can play at their top level like they have at various points in the season. All right, Buffalo fans, how you guys feeling today? Huh? You doing the fight song? You got the fight song rolling? Everybody feeling good? Everybody okay up there in Boulder right now? Great win yesterday. Great first half. CU pulls away in the second half. They win this one over Washington State 38-24. Now, this was a game they had to win. If they lose this game, they're tied with USC, and USC has the tiebreaker. If they lose this game, they would have been tied with Utah because Utah lost to Oregon. With Utah on the schedule next week. So this is a game CU had to win. Next week against Utah, they have to win. If they lose against Utah next week and USC beats Notre Dame, which the way USC is playing, you can expect them to beat Notre Dame, who's having a bad season. Although that rivalry, Notre Dame, you're not going to a bowl game. You're guaranteed your first losing season in, 50 or 60 years, something like that. They would love nothing more than to spoil their rival's season and knock USC off next week. So USC, don't take Notre Dame lightly next week. Come out, ball hard, get that win, force CU to beat Utah so they can, get into that Pac-12 title game. This game wasn't as important like we talked about for Washington State. It really comes down to them next week's game, the Apple Bowl against Washington. And Washington needed to win this week against Arizona State, and they did. So next week, the winner of that game will go on to the Pac-12 title game for the Pac-12 North. And if CU beats Utah next week, they get the Pac-12 South and will go face whoever won the Apple Bowl. Because Oregon was able to knock off Utah 30-28 yesterday. And this was a back-and-forth game. Utah at one point had about a 10-point lead. Looked like they were going to go ahead and pull away with it. But Oregon came back. They traded scores late. And then they were able to hold them off right there at the very end. And what they scored with, 2 seconds left to take the lead and win? So, great game there for Oregon. CU fans had to be watching that game, and then they had to have paid attention to the USC-UCLA game last night. Because had UCLA been able to pull out a win last night, CU would have clinched the Pac-12 South already. That did not happen. UCLA went out there and put it on them last night, really pulled away in the fourth quarter. It was kind of close until then, but they pulled away 36-14. USC wins. And again, they have Notre Dame next week. Notre Dame is not as good of a team as Utah is statistically or ranking-wise. But Notre Dame would, again, love nothing more than to knock off USC and spoil their season. So CU, you're having a great season. Continue playing hard. Stay focused this week. Go out there and do what you have to do next week. And just beat Utah. Your destiny's in your own hands. USC needs you to lose. They have to win, and they need you to lose. All you have to do is win. You just got to take care of business. And then the last game, man, this game I really thought was going to go the other way. The Florida LSU game, didn't see it going this way. Florida pulls this one out 16-10, and just what turned out to be a game of a couple plays. It was a tight game. Florida really came to play. They gave LSU everything they could handle, and a few plays here and there, and it turns out, you got a one-score game. LSU's kind of having a rough season, but again, look at their athletes, look at their pedigree, look at what they do there in the SEC. They know how to recruit. They're going to have a new coach, so that's going to bring excitement back to the program. And expect them to have a better year next year for sure. Good win for Florida because, they captured that SEC East title, so they'll be going on to the SEC championship game where they're going to get demolished by Alabama. So congratulations, you get to go get stomped because Alabama basically took this week off against Chattanooga. They didn't go out there and clobber them. They didn't try and make a statement. They just ran out there, did their thing, ran some of their second-string guys, got some of them some work, and still pulled out a nice win there. So, all right, that's the college football yesterday. If you guys missed it, I feel for you. It was great. I mostly watched that CU game. I watched some of the USC game yesterday. The Michigan game at the end when it started snowing, I was watching it at that point. That was great to see. And then I caught highlights of all the other games that were on. So it was good football, and we can only hope the same for today. On the other side of the break, we will be talking about today's football, and we'll see if maybe some of these games can't compete. All right.
Hey guys, the NFL is back. It's time to win some cash playing fantasy football. TheDirtCannon.com is a local company that has your back. They have produced over 60% winners on FanDuel, DraftKings, and now even Yahoo. TheDirtCannon.com will help you build, play, and win. Build a better team with TheDirtCannon.com. Use promo code RDST and get $5 off forever. And try the Silver membership this week for free. Visit TheDirtCannon.com.
All right, we got a nice slate of NFL games today, but it's time to talk NFL. We're going to start with some of the better games, some of the better matchups that I feel are happening this week, and then we'll kind of touch on the rest of the games and who's playing today as well, and Monday night. Let's start out with the Ravens and Cowboys. All right, you got the number one rush defense versus the number one rush offense. Yes, that is true. If you didn't know that, if you didn't believe that, welcome to the club. I was not aware or tracking the Ravens defense that closely this year. So when I saw that, when I read that, I had to go check it myself. The Ravens have been balling out on the defensive side of the ball. They're the number one team against the rush in the league right now, going against this Cowboys team who's been able to run the ball on everybody. This game, to me, comes down to basically just that. Those two factors are going to decide this game. As well as Dak Prescott has been playing, I don't think he's at a level right now where he can beat you. He can be that piece that completely manages the game, puts up good numbers, is accurate, is consistent, makes all the right decisions. But I still don't feel like he's got that thing that says, okay, put it on my back, I got this, I'm going to go win us the game. So if that number one rush defense of Baltimore can somehow get that offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott off their game, and again, like I said last week, you keep Ezekiel Elliott under 100 yards rushing, you got a chance in the game. He busts 100 yards, game over. That means that offensive line's having their way with you, and that means they're running out the clock. That means they got plays on plays on plays on their drive. It means your offense is sitting on the side, not getting into a routine, not getting into a flow, no momentum, and you pretty much just waiting for the game to be over if the Cowboys get going and Ezekiel Elliott gets over 100 yards. So it comes down to that. I know people have been negative on Joe Flacco and the offense. Well, they haven't done much this season, let's be honest. They really haven't. The Cowboys, they've been playing as a nice little unit.